Hi, everyone. For all of you, or some of you, whichever it may be, that has never heard me, my name is Michelle. The last video, the last video I made was about some horrific things. So this gonna be a better one because it's all positive and good. Once you rise above the deception that we've all been a part of, that many and many of us are waking up to. Okay, I decided to come out here today. I love being out here with in nature with all the trees around me. I feel so much comfortable compared to being inside. Most of the time I wouldn't come out here and do a live video without makeup, but I'm fixing to go cut grass, so who gives? And I already have my man who is attracted to me with or without makeup, so what difference does it make? I thought I'd get that out here first and all, because it is what it is for a woman. Okay, where do I start? There's so much I want to say. I have been doing a lot of studying, more and more and more studying into the deception of religion and our true identity and who we actually are and how we can come awaken to our true identity, which is the most amazing thing, y'all. It's so amazing. Okay, many of y'all know I have written my novel, Reappearing Before Her Eyes, the Isabella LeBlanc story. And this is my third book. And I've been writing these books. I never even knew I had the talent of writing, but I published my first book in 2010. So this is my third book. So each time I write a book brings more and more healing, which the first two helped me to better dive into my life emotionally and write it out into a novel, and a lot of horrific crap come up. It's been really hellish. So I am now seeing a counselor just for a little bit to come to terms with all that I've written, because some of this stuff just came up in my memory as I wrote it. And yeah, a lot, a whole lot to grasp and to mm, to accept and to let go of all of that I have no control over, so I can receive my freedom. Okay, so my counselor is Christian, the religion of Christian, and many good friends of mine are Christian religion. I'm Christian, but I'm metaphysical Christian. It's a whole lot of difference with just a tiny, tiny bit of difference in the Bible of what we believe and what religion has put out there to us, to program in us to believe, to keep us enslaved to the powers that be, our government, and the Catholic Church is where it all began. And so a lot, a whole lot has been hidden from us. This is what I like to talk about because it's brought so much healing to me that I have been how's the best way to put it? I don't, I can't bring up the words I want to say to all the 30 years, 40 years in the Christian religion that I tried and tried and tried and tried and did everything I was told to do. I never received any healing. Yes, I was very good in putting on a mask and walking into that Sunday church service and saying, "Hello, I'm great. How are you?" That's what many of us do. And I had a prophecy prophesied over me in 2000 in a Assembly Church of God in Tallahassee, Florida. God prophesied, God no, a man prophesied to me and God spoke through him. God spoke through this man and God actually spoke to me. And it was amazing. And God told me, He kept telling me, take the mask off. And He says, I am taking this mask off. Do not put it back on. But I had no choice but to put it back on because I wasn't given the truth on how to keep the mask off and to receive my freedom of the most horrific trauma any child should have to go through. But I'm free now, and that's what I want to get across to all of you. Okay, my Christian counselor, I talked to him about spirituality and what I'm learning, and because a preacher told me when I was 9 years old, and I tried to get help from the church to make my father stop coming in my bedroom, and instead he believed my father and told me, and hey, I don't fault him on that. I don't fault him on that because this shit I was telling him that my dad was doing to me, it's hard to comprehend. But what he didn't have to do was tell me I'm going to go to hell if I don't stop lying. That's a hard thing for a child to hear when they're just so desperate, just um to where it's like life and death. It was like life and death to me that I was trying to get help from our pastor. No wonder I blocked all that shit out. No wonder. It was there. And see, that's another cool thing. God gives us the ability to do things that we don't do a lot of times because we're programmed to believe lies. But hey, if you want to believe what you've been programmed to believe, go right ahead. That's your choice. And that's the cool thing God gives to us is our choice. So this Christian counselor, he's pretty good. And so I tell him what I'm all the stuff I've learned over the last 10 years, and he says that's very interesting. I like hearing other people's input um, on spiritual things. And so even though he might not believe everything I believe, it was okay. It was okay. He made it feel okay. And that's where the division could stop. Doesn't God tell us don't judge or you will be judged? So whatever you think, that's your prerogative to believe, but don't judge other people to what their beliefs are. And so I was talking to a very good mentor I was having lunch with the other day. This woman is amazing. Um, and we were discussing some things about the Bible, and some things she said I knew didn't click with what I'm learning. So I went to start not went I started describing all that I had learned, and that's what I want to describe to y'all here. And I know I've said a lot of things, but I don't think I explained it to the extent I explained it to her. And that's that our bodies are so much more magnificent than we could ever imagine. And because of the things that were hidden from us from Christianity from the beginning, from the days before Christ and the days after Christ, that's when it started. So it's been programmed in us for centuries. So I don't so I understand churches right now, but because the truth is coming out, they could start digging into this spirituality that so many of us, millions upon millions, are coming to terms with and are living above the shit. We have learned to live above it. Okay, so we have 7 chakras, and our bodies are energy. We have a mind and we have a heart mind. Our heart and our mind are constantly communicating between each other, and we have energy going through us, through our body. No wonder our hearts are electrical. Okay, so we have these 7 chakras. We Westerners call them chakras. The Eastern spirit teachers have called it energy centers, and that's what it is. It's a 7 energy centers that goes down through our body, and they are like a little tornado that's just spiraling around and around and around, and it can get clogged up by all the stuff we've been programmed from the time we were born. Before we were born, we knew God. We knew how much God loved us, and we knew God, and our spiritual guides went over a blueprint of what we would go through in this earth school, and we were prepared for it. And it's a school. How can you go to hell because you flunked in a school? Crazy. So I'm reading this book, and I get a little confused on how to name the chakras, but this metaphysical interpretation of the Bible. And I read a little bit of this in the Bible every morning, as well as I do meditations to connect myself in a more substantial way with spirit, so that I can go throughout my day in a very good, positive way. That's why Jesus told us, Yahshua, that isn't even his name, y'all. You know what? And that brings up something else. I've changed my name, but I decided to change my name. Nobody else decided that for me, but Yahshua. He didn't change his name to Jesus. I don't know if it's Constantine or who in the translations of the books that they allowed to stay in the Bible changed it to Jesus. So yeah, that's a number one red flag. That's the biggest red flag that we have been deceived from the beginning. So seven chakras in this book, I'm in Revelations now. It's amazing. I wished there were many of you that would understand my excitement and would buy it and read it because it's amazing. So it lists, when you start in Genesis, it lists the chakras going from your root chakra up to your crown, but then or vice versa. So anyway, it don't matter the numbers, but you have a root chakra that's down around the tail of your spine. Next, and that has a lot to do with the material world. Well, actually, it's got everything to do with the material world. The first three chakras do. The second chakra is right around your belly button, and it's the sacral chakra. The next one is the solar plexus chakra. Then the heart chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. The third eye chakra we see spiritually. And there are so many spiritual beings around us. If we could comprehend the spiritual beings, the good and the bad ones that are all interacting around us, and we can call out to the spirits of light of God's love, and we can get help like this in a minute, in a second, a split of a second. So all this energy is going up and down, and our heart is the doorway between the lower chakras and the upper chakras, which is the spiritual, how we live in a spiritual way of being. So, okay, what do I say next? Okay, I've gotten a little off track. Just hold a minute. Um, Take me a drink of water. We have the ability to rise up above what the government has been enslaving all of humanity. And the government and the church religions work together. And I'm coming to realize we are being, I know it now. I mean, how we are being played. One side, all of us that believe in one way and all of us that believe the other way, we're being played. And I know I have been for President Trump, and I still think he's the better man than Kamala could ever have been. We would have been in a mess of trouble, and we're still in a mess because they all are working for the same powerful powers that be. All they want, all they are interested is money and power, and we are falling right into their trap by fighting against each other, by saying, "Oh, you believe in Trump? How immoral can you be?" And then we think, get your blankety blank head out of the sand. and wake up to what's going on. We're doing it back and forth to each other, and it's a division. Same thing with the religion. It's a division to divide us against each other. For all these different religions to divide us against each other and to bring wars and kill us all out. So the powers can rule over robots. That's what they want to do. They are, I mean, it's unbelievable the evilness that is coming out up for us all to see. And there's a way out of it. It's through connecting to God. God is it. God is no male with a long white beard sitting on the throne up in heaven, just getting his whip out, saying, do it this way, or to hell you will go. That is not my God, y'all. My God is a loving God, pure love, nothing but love. My spirit has traveled up into the light of God. It's pure love. And that happened last year, and it's given me the courage. I've been through some shit, y'all. All this that I've hidden in me, that's coming up to light. And that was my reassurance God gave me last October 31st, that although fear tries to come at me, every moment of every day, I know the way out, because I have been up to the light of God, and I have been surrounded by that warmth. It's undescribable, but I didn't have to die. I went up there in my spirit, just like when I was being violated in the most horrific way as a child. God gave me the ability to leave, and my spirit traveled into another dimension. And just like there are spiritual entities that are waking up to who we are, God inside of us, that makes us just as much a part of God as Jesus. And Jesus came down here to show us how to overcome. It wasn't a blood sacrificial ritual. Who does that? Y'all wake up. Who does that? Satan does that. We've been lied to. And whatever you want to believe, I am so happy that I am with so many people that believe the way I do, here online, in my church, in my world around me, my partner, which is amazing. So we can experience heaven right in the midst of this hell. That's what Jesus came down here to show us, to put an end to the powers that be, that just want to enslave us. Yes, we are enslaved. Look at my post. I made a really cool post that I got from Ethan Lucas. We are so enslaved, and it's funny, we are, because of stock syndrome, we are arguing with each other to pick the better master to be ruler over us. It's crazy. And thank God we are going up into the new earth very soon. And we need to get our hearts right with God. Jesus, Yahshua, that's his true name, gave us the way to do that. So if whatever I'm saying resonates with you, go dig up spirituality and the law of attraction and metaphysical Christian and learn it just like I have learned it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Thank you. I hope y'all have a beautiful evening.